Hi, this is Deb Engel. Today I want to talk about a concept that I think has become more and more familiar to all of us from A Course in Miracles, and that's the idea of oneness or connection. Pretty much any day these days you can hear someone talk about the fact that we are all one, we are united, we're connected, and of course we hear the opposite a lot too. We hear all sorts of messages about how divided we are. But A Course in Miracles' message of unity is that we were all created by God. Doesn't matter who we are, where we live, what our background is, what we do for a living, what our sexual orientation is. We are all pieces of the same divine love. And because of that, we are all one. We're all extensions of the same whole. Now, recently in one of the Course in Miracles classes that I teach, we were talking about a line from the Course that I think speaks to this so well. And it's one of those things that's easy to focus on, to envision, and I think that always helps us to learn. So here's the line from the Course in Miracles. It talks about the fact that we can either be hostage to the ego or we can be host to God. Now, what it means by that is that if we're hostage to the ego, we are hostage because the ego mind is all about fear. It's all about feeling not good enough, feeling unlovable, feeling like it's got to prove itself, feeling like it's got to be either better than somebody else or find a way to prove itself so that it won't feel so bad, guilty, and ashamed. That's definitely feeling hostage. We feel imprisoned when we think with the mind of the ego. But when we play host to God, what we're doing is we're allowing the flow of divine love that we are, that we're part of, to flow through us, to animate us, and to guide us. So when we play host to God, we literally are playing host to the energy that is our divine birthright, that energy of abundance, of well-being, of love, joy, peace, compassion, all of those things that are expressions of God's love. When you think about what it must be like to host this, just think as if you were hosting someone in your home. What if God showed up at your door? Now, in A Course in Miracles, of course, God could be anyone because all of us are extensions and expressions of God. So it could be the King of England, the Queen of England showing up at your door. It could be the drunk from the corner. It could be anybody. Anybody who shows up at your door is going to be an expression of God, no matter what their personality or their ego expression of themselves might be. So how do you host someone? Well, in this class, I joked about the fact that if we're having a family gathering, I'm going to make sure that the sheets are changed on the beds, that there's a fresh tablecloth on the table, that there's some food in the refrigerator, something edible, that there's clean silverware. I'll probably even make sure that there's a full roll of toilet paper in the bathroom. These all seem like important things in hosting someone. But if you think about what it really means to host someone, being a great host means welcoming somebody with an open heart, with the hospitality of the soul, wanting to see them, wanting to know them, wanting to learn about them. It makes me think of a young woman who I heard speak recently. She had been part of a project in putting together a book about different religions in the heartland of the US. So she had an immersion experience in a religion that she was not familiar with. And when she was asked about what that experience was like, she said that she was so welcomed into their church, their place of worship, that she wanted to be respectful. She said, I was so welcomed, I wanted to be respectful. Now, to me, that's the very essence of hosting. That's the very essence of someone making her feel so welcome that she was elevated in her experience. This sets in motion a whole cycle of giving and receiving and of unity instead of separation. Just think if you feel welcomed and then you feel respectful, then you want to show your appreciation and your gratitude. And the person who receives that gratitude is probably inspired to welcome others, to repeat that experience or to make it even better. It just really sets into motion this whole idea of paying it forward in a way that celebrates our unity and recognizes that we are all here to host and welcome one another as the love that we are. So I hope that as you go through your days this week, you will stop and welcome people into your heart, especially those that you might frequently overlook. Just take maybe 30 seconds to look into the eyes of someone that you might normally not pay any attention to. You don't have to have a long conversation. You don't have to literally invite them into your home. but invite them into your heart by just seeing them as a child of God, holy and complete, as a piece and extension of God, just as you are. In doing this, you will see the mirror of love that you are reflected in them and reflected back to you. And that's how we build the unity in this world that we all so want and need. Hope you have a beautiful day. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. I always love to hear from you. Sending blessings. Thanks so much.